Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Had a few people ask about what does my barn look like and how do I have it set up. So I thought I would share. I designed the barn and my husband built it for me. It is strictly just our goat barn. Some people said, oh, you should have had a red barn. Well, it looked just fine, dark green to me. Might have something to do with my rare dark green eyes. I don't know. I like red too, but in today's time, you really don't want stuff to stand out too much. So green kind of just blends in with the nature and the landscape of the property. We have a solar light up here, and we also have a cord ram for heat lamps. The back doors close for the winter time to block the north wind. During the summer, we open them up. Typically, we have about 6 does, and then we have two does in each stall, so they're not overcrowded. The stalls are about 8 by 8. We lock them up at night to eat, and then let them back free. That's the first stall. This is the second stall. We use pallets, and pallets was on the outside. Actually, some of it wasn't even pallets, it was old fences. And we made the walls on the outsides. Some of these are old gates that we had on some other property. That was an old barn. So we did salvage some of the old gates. But this was fence that someone took down. They wanted someone to come pick it up for $100. And $100 did all my outside walls, my existing walls. And it made this milk room look really pretty. I like the old-timey look of it. I have a little bench right there. We sit on it and the goats sit on it. A little shelf to set drinks or something on it when it's kidding season. This is a new sign that I got for the barn. I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. Thought it looked perfect out here. And my little window, this little oil lamps. Of course, we don't have nothing in the oil lamps, just more or less for decoration. Put chicken wire and screen on the window that goes to the milk room. It has a little flap on the inside that closes. Then we have another stall over here in the corner beside the milk room. I'm going to try to let some of these girls out. All of them are finished eating. Miss Maple and her kids. Pretty sure we have a lady that wants to buy them. Supposed to sell them this coming Tuesday, which they will be exactly 2 weeks old this coming Tuesday. Miss Buttercup and Miss Root Beer and their 2 little girls. Then we have Miss Josie over here. Miss Josie seems like she wants to be the herd queen. She's been being really bossy to the other goats. And she was the last one that we bought for the homestead. Her and her husband, her boyfriend, whatever, her other Pygerian little male. And she just kind of took over the place. She got some cute little kids though. I haven't been able to fool with them as much as some of the other kids because I just haven't felt well enough. But they're still sweet. And we'll go inside the milk room and show you how we have it set up. I have a little latch right here that's easy for me to open and close when I have my milking pail. I have another little latch right here. I open it. Usually just let it swing open so that I can get some air because it's usually around 100 degrees inside here whenever we milk in the afternoons. The little latch shuts when I close it. I have all of my stuff, and this is the little window I was telling you about. I can close it in the winter time. I have a clock up there so I can see what time it is. Then I have all of my goat supplies, my goat treats, supplements, first aid stuff, fly spray, stuff for milking the goat, for testing her milk. Then I have some brushes and stuff, the little clippers and just scissors, peroxide, just first aid stuff if you need anything like that. Have somebody has a cutter or scrape. Keep a calendar, and that's a gestation calendar so we can see when we breed the goats. We have a thermometer over there. As you can tell, it's quite warm in here. And there's no light in here, so we try to milk before it gets too late in the evening. We got this cool poster inside. Some fun goat facts. There's a terrible glare on there. I have a broom in here and some other stuff to clean out the stalls. This is a double milk stand that was built years ago, and we rebuilt it. Actually, it was just one because I used to have large Nubians, and now I have the small Nubians. So I can get 2 girls on the stand at one time. There's some extra sawdust and stuff over there. I have my wheat and my pellets, so whenever I milk, I can just give them a scoop. I have a little stool I tuck under. This little stool works perfect. I painted it, repurposed it, bought it really cheap, I believe at a Goodwill. It's a metal little stool. Thought it would be perfect for a milking chair. Then I have another little stool upside down over there because we're only milking 1 goat right now. So when we're both in here milking, my husband and I, we both have a place to sit down. Just some extra treats and stuff. The little window's kind of cool. It shuts and closes. Extra towels and stuff for kidding season. And it's about an 8x8 as well. I'm going to give you a different angle of it. It's worked really well. And as you can tell, there's a skylight right there. We did skylights on both ends of the barn so that it would let the light in naturally. So we wouldn't have to run electricity out here. Although we still do for heat lamps sometimes occasionally. And I want to talk to y'all about the floor. How frugal. So it kept raining and kept raining and kept raining. So we couldn't never get the concrete. So I told him I wasn't going to worry about the concrete. We could just put a tarp down and use landscape staples. It's getting dark. Hard to see. Landscape staples around the corners so that it would stay down in the way of the milk stand and everything. And we didn't get it done before the goats started having kids. So we just put the tarp down, landscape timbered it down, and it's actually very solid. It's like a clay dirt floor underneath. So it keeps it cleaner inside the milk room until we were able to concrete it. So sometimes you have to think outside the box. I wanted to get my milk stand painted. I bought the paint and have everything, just haven't felt like doing it. It was stained and varnished, and you can tell it's been well used, but it still works perfectly fine. So sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. We started milking Frex because the one side the baby wasn't milking on it, wasn't nursing on it. So we had to start milking her, so I didn't get my stand painted. We didn't get the floor concreted. We had the barn, we just didn't have the floor finished. So went ahead. We used to just milk in the breezeway right here. But the girls kept playing on it and getting it dirty and, you know, messing it up and all that. So we went ahead and put it where it was originally planned to be, was in the milk room. So we finally got it in the milk room. But of course, later on, we're going to have to still get the little floor concreted. And it's only an 8x8, so it's not going to be too bad for us to do the work ourselves. But for now, the tarp and the landscape staples is working beautifully. So this is how we have it set up. Like I said, this is just for goats. This is how we have it set up. If this were be for like horses, it would probably be a at minimum 12 by 12 or preferably 16 by 16 stalls. But I'll never be able to have horses again due to my health. So this is just strictly for a goat barn. That's what we designed it for, and that's what we built it for. And I tried to make it as cute as I could and as old-timey as I could. My husband built all the doors. Came up with some really cool designs. This is coming out the back side of it. Works really well. This is the north side, so it blocks the wind. Plus we have woods right there that blocks it. But we have skylights on the back side. We still have to put a few boards around the edges of the skylight. But we did put it really good. We put hurricane, forgot what you call them, the little things that keep the wood together. I'm drawing a blank right now, so that it would do better if we had high winds or hurricane season, it wouldn't just blow away. And it's made it through all of our recent storms in the past 5-6 years, I guess is how old it is now. And it's made it just fine. You see this one's got the little frame around the little skylights that we put in. And we left this side open so they have a breezeway to get out of the rain and the cold weather. It works really good. So it's nothing fancy, kind of plain, but I went with the green because I like the green. And there's those little things that I was talking about on this side. And these little kids are just following me around. There's Miss Napoli. So I wanted to just do a little barn tour and let y'all see how my little part of the world looks. How country and plain and simple it is, but how wonderful it works. I've always had some type of barn for my animals, but this one, I was able to build one how I wanted it. I guess when you get close to 50 years old, you just start doing those kind of things. So don't quit dreaming, keep planning, and eventually you'll get it how you want it. So this is it though. This is our little barn on the homestead. Thanks for joining me today. Farewell, homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.